Hello, this week's habit is intentional movement. So, I know you probably first think of exercise when we talk movement, but this is actually focusing on movement outside of your traditional formal workout routine, right? So, a lot of us have a hard time fitting in a formal exercise into our day. You're busy, you've got a lot going on. Even working out for 10, 20 minutes is hard to do. So, we're not thinking about working out here, which is something we should be doing. But this is really intentional movement outside of a workout, right? If somebody goes to the gym and works out 30 minutes to an hour, that's great, right? They'll get their exercise ring closed, the movement ring is probably closed. But if they're sitting the other 4 or 5 hours of the day, you're still not doing a lot for your body, right? Working out is great and it's good that you got that workout in, but we don't want to be somebody that works out for 30 minutes and then the rest of the time we're sitting at our desk or on the couch or even in the car. So, intentional movement is not so much about moving our body for long periods of time. It's about avoiding sitting for a long period of time. So, you probably realize we sit a lot, right? You're sitting in the car on the way to work, maybe in the car pickup line, traffic. There's no telling how far you have to drive for work. You're in the car. Sit at your desk. If you have a desk job, you're sitting at your desk pretty much all day working on everything that you need to get done. Maybe get up for lunch, couple bathroom breaks here or there. You might get up from your desk and walk, but then go to another meeting where you're sitting, right? And then after a long day of work, you're mentally drained, you come home, cook dinner, you sit, right? If your kids play sports, you're sitting as you watch them play their sports. If you're home, you're sitting as you watch TV. So in our culture, we do a lot of sitting. And the problem with sitting for long periods of time is it can really have some negative impact on our overall health. It increases obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol levels go through the roof, all kinds of diseases, things like that, because our bodies are meant to move, right? So again, we're not thinking about formal exercise here. We're just thinking about avoiding prolonged sitting. Have you ever sat for a really long time, like been at a conference or in meetings where you're sitting or in a car for a long road trip and you feel so stiff when you finally get to stand up, you just want to stretch and move your body? It's because your body feels better when it's moving. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because you would think if you were sitting and not doing anything, your body would feel better, but you get stiff, you get all crunched up. You know, people that I work with who have been sitting at a desk job and haven't been active, they're trying to pry their muscles and tendons open again and really open everything up. So that's what we want to avoid. We don't want our bodies to shrink in on themselves. We don't want to be tight. We want to loosen things and keep things mobile, right? Mobility is so important as we age, right? You don't want to be somebody that can't get out of a chair, can't get off the floor, right? You want to be mobile. You want to be able to walk and move and do whatever you want to do. Keeping muscle mass is so important, especially as we age. It's harder to gain muscle. It's harder to keep muscle. So the more we stand, the more we move, we're using more of our muscles, which helps us maintain that muscle mass. It's good for our mental health, right? Getting out, even if it's not getting outside is a great way to get movement and feel better. But even if you're just up and moving and get that blood flowing, it's really good for your mental health, mental energy, stress levels, and also helps maintain that energy level. So again, if you've ever sat through a meeting or a conference where you're just sitting all day, listening to information, maybe facilitating it, you're exhausted at the end of the day because you didn't really use any energy. You just sat there lethargically all day, and that can make us even more tired. So again, as crazy as it sounds, the more you move your body, the more energy you'll have. So this week, our focus is how can we prevent ourselves from sitting for long periods of time, right? You can't just walk away from your desk job. You can't avoid being in the car, right? We're not going to walk everywhere all of a sudden. So we need to think about how we can sneak in little bits of movement throughout our day. And really the goal to start with is 3 minutes every hour. So I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're at your desk really working hard, or you're at home and you're just like, oh, I'm just so tired, moving for 3 minutes an hour can be tough. So a couple things to keep in mind while you try for this goal. One, set an alarm on your phone or at your computer every hour. So either you're setting one alarm to get up and move for a 3-hour stretch. So maybe when your alarm goes off, you might go to the bathroom, you might refill your water because we're working on our water intake. You might go visit a coworker if you have somebody nearby that's not going to completely derail your work day. Whatever it is, maybe you take a lap around the office. Maybe if you work from home, you walk to another part of your house. Maybe you walk outside, check the mail, whatever it is, but you're doing one alarm every hour and you're doing enough activity for 3 minutes, okay? So again, just walking, maybe you're stretching, but you're standing to stretch for 3 minutes. If finding stuff to keep you occupied for 3 minutes total, then you can do 3 separate alarms throughout the hour, but you're moving for a minute at each alarm, right? So let's say at 9:05, I decide my alarm goes off. So I just need to move for a minute. That's probably a trip to the bathroom and back, okay? And then I might wait till 9:30 for the second alarm. So again, get up, go to the bathroom again, or maybe I'm refilling my water, come back, that's a minute. And then my third alarm might be at 9:45, and I stayed up and I'm just doing some stretches at my desk, just reaching, just touching my toes, rotating my back, just moving, stretching for 1 minute, okay? So that's your first baby step goal, is to see if you can move for 3 minutes for every hour, okay, throughout the whole day. Now, as you progress, you might find yourself wanting to go for a walk, right, at lunch, which is totally fine. Go for a walk, get a little fresh air. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk, maybe it's a 30-minute walk. Whatever you have your time for, put that in. Maybe when you're watching your children play sports, you're standing and you're walking, right? Walking either up and down the sideline. Maybe you're at a place where you can walk around the field, but you're walking instead of sitting. Maybe it's a situation where you have a standing desk where you can alternate between sitting and standing. Again, you're not really moving, but standing requires a lot more muscles than sitting does. So those are the progressions that you can make after you get the 3 minutes every hour. You can start adding in those other things and really see how you do. But again, the goal is to avoid sitting for a prolonged period. So we don't want to go 2-3 hours and think, oh my gosh, I haven't left my desk in 2 to 3 hours, or I haven't left the seat in 2 to 3 hours. Again, it's okay if you're just getting up a little bit at a time. We just don't want to be sitting the entire time, not moving, not standing at all, because then we're just hunched over, our posture is affected, all those things I talked about before, negatively affecting your overall health. So think through your schedule, think through what makes sense to you. It's going to be shocking, I think, to you to see how hard it is to move for 3 minutes every hour. I know when I'm working on something really intense, I am in the zone and locked in. I hate even having to get up and go to the bathroom. But it's important for our bodies that we get up and do these little tiny movements every day. So that's my challenge to you. 3 minutes for every hour, and then we'll slowly add on. And if you do have time for a walk or something more formal, then go for it. Don't feel like you have to stop at 3 minutes, okay? That's our minimum. Our minimum is 3 minutes an hour. But if you've had those days where it feels great outside and you want to take a walk and just enjoy the sunshine, then go for it, right? Don't ever talk yourself out of more physical activity. But these are little movements, little steps to get us from sitting to standing.